Sí, por favor.
Could you say that loud? Okay. I'll say it in English and I'll say it in Spanish. It's directed to you about the military. I'm sorry, the one in red.
Tanner. His name is Tanner.
Tanner, yes. Okay, so you were talking about that the economy is, that there needs to be a spending in the military, and that because people have bad grades or don't have another option, they tend to go to the military. I have a different view.
Sí. Yo tengo que pensar en eso, porque no he pensado. Bueno, es que el crecimiento de nuestro militaria mejor. Okay. Well, I mean, I understand where you're coming from as far as that goes, but it's just so I guess it's not, I wouldn't say the only option for people that don't get into colleges or can't afford to be in a college. I would just say that our military is, first of all, something our nation prides itself on, and second of all, it's something that generates so many jobs in our country, and it also does so much as far as, I mean, I wouldn't say it like this because I feel like we have a target on our back, but I wouldn't say anyone would attack us. But that being said, if we downsize our military, and I am pro-military, obviously, but if we downsize our military, I mean, there are countries out there that I feel would try to take advantage of that, and with reason. Yeah.
Well, I mean, nobody has ever talked about downsizing our military. That's not on the table with Democrats or Republicans. People are talking about increasing our military's budget at a smaller rate, which is still pretty crazy to me. But as far as the whole idea of sending people to the military to create jobs as a stimulus, I mean, there have been ideas thrown out there by Barack Obama, too, of giving people other opportunities like the Civilian Conservation Corps during the Great Depression, where people can go volunteer, they can go do something else, and they don't go off to die, but they have opportunities in these other ways. I think there are better solutions than just putting people in uniform if we don't need them to be there, if we don't need to be invading countries.
And as far as us becoming more vulnerable, I think that our military is never going to be at a state where we're having two fairly large oceans on either side of our country. I mean, we're never not going to have a military, so we're never going to be vulnerable because nobody is going to try to send an armed force through Newfoundland or I don't know where and try to mount an attack on our country. So I don't think that we're in much danger of being vulnerable in that sense. And I agree with what you guys are saying. I mean, surely there are ways that we can, different sorts of volunteer programs that young people can go through and serve 4, 6, whatever years and earn some sort of benefit through that rather than through the military. And I think that also realistically our role in the world is diminishing all the time. And with Brazil and with China, we're going to have less interest in those regions and less reason to station troops there because we're not going to be the ones controlling those regions anymore. So I don't think it's necessary to increase spending. And like you said, just as with our growth, they talk about it's only been 2.2% growth, but it's growth. Like growth isn't a given, and growth in the military shouldn't be a given either. I mean, it's still growth. So.
Bueno, pues yo solamente quería dedicarle al Tanner que usar el dinero para la militar es gastar el dinero. Tú dices que quieres el dinero para, bueno, support the military, yet you don't want wars. Then what's the military for?
It's another option in my eyes.
Okay. I personally dated a U.S. Marine for 4 years, and he did not go to war. In my opinion, he got free training and, a free ride to Japan for 4 years. And now he did his 4 years, and he has, his benefits for working for the military. Now, you want to increase that and yet no war, then you're saying that you're going to simply give out money to people who just raise their hand and say, I'll go to Japan and sure, live off, whoever pays the taxes for this?
Well,
I mean, specify, if you want money for the military, then obviously it has to go to war. And in my opinion, just spending more money on it, we could use it in other federal funds. We could use it for public schools. So people won't have that only option. And we can use it to increase our performance standards in I don't know, for teachers. It can be used for education purposes and not military purposes only or solely.
Well, I mean, I know what you're saying, but as I've seen here, there's more U.S. military than there is Spanish military, which is kind of weird, but...
They have the strongest military.
Yeah, and what I'm saying
What
is
more do you want?
we have military all over the world because we're such a global force. So I guess that's why our military is so big, because we have stations all around the world, and our ideal is to maintain that, to keep developing our technology, to make it the best of the best, to keep our military the best of the best. And that's been the cornerstone of the United States for 250 years now.
To come to Tanner's defense, I mean, it's not just that we have, there is a use for our military even outside of war. We don't just have troops in Japan or troops in Spain because it's cool. We have a responsibility for a lot of countries. We have a treaty with Japan and with Spain, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, for example. We don't just defend the United States, but we help defend the global commons. And yes, I think that it would be good to maybe help share this responsibility with other growing powers. But I mean, even in peace, there's a place for our military. Not to say that I think it should be growing exponentially, but it has a purpose.
In Latin is si vis pacem para bellum.
So I just wanted to comment. I feel that having a strong military like we do now in the U.S. is it's very essential. I mean, 9/11 is the only terrorist attack that we have ever had in American history on American soil, because our military is, very well developed, and in other countries, like they have stated before. But I do feel, and I do agree with some points that she brought up, Floyd brought up. I feel that the budget needs to be better managed, and it needs to be, like, a lot of money is going towards the military. I feel that it's perfect the way it is. More money, the better. But I mean, for me, my main point is money should be invested in education, like what you were bringing up. I feel like there's an estimate for every, for example, 23 military bases or whatever. There is one university. Well, this is prisons, I'm sorry. But anyways, it could be related in a sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of money is going towards the military, but I mean, I feel that it needs to be better spread out in different sectors and important things in the U.S.
Ok, para finalizar, porque ya se nos está echando, ya se nos ha echado el tiempo encima. A prediction. qué va a pasar el...
Obama.
¿Qué va a pasar el primer martes después del primer lunes de noviembre?
Obama, Romney.
Obama. Sí, Obama.
Flor. Green Party. Bueno, es una opción.
Green Party, primera opción, segunda opción, Obama.
Yo creo que Obama va a ser el candidato elegido, sí.
Voto por Obama, pero lo que es importante es que votáis. Sí, sí.
I think Obama will win.
Tanner.
En este momento creo que Romney va a ganar. Pero puede cambiar porque hay 2 debates más.
Sí.
¿Qué tal el público? ¿Qué opináis? Obama.
Jill Stein, yeah.
Ron Paul.
Bueno, quisiera terminar agradeciendo al público y su asistencia, por supuesto, y sobre todo a nuestros chicos que han participado. Yo creo que han dado una perspectiva bastante realista de lo que es la situación en Estados Unidos, independientemente de la ideología de cada uno de ellos. Tened en cuenta que para muchos de ellos el inglés es su lengua, su first language. Para otros, pues a lo mejor ha sido más fácil el debate por tener esa capacidad de desenvolverse en los dos idiomas. Y que, bueno, pues es que espero que hayáis disfrutado y que, bueno, que estáis, por supuesto, invitados a participar en todos los eventos que el Instituto Franklin realiza sobre el proceso electoral a presidente de Estados Unidos. Muchísimas gracias y muchísimas gracias a vosotros.